Hi guys, we're gonna do this for one more day, I think. As you can probably hear by my groggy little voice here, I don't sound perfect yet, but I feel so much better. So I just wanted to make sure that I delivered this lesson to you guys today. The way that these notes are set up, I do have like a title page, and then I have a couple of videos I want you to watch before you watch the rest of my video, or you watch this video, I guess. So you'll actually be seeing this after you already saw those first two videos. And then this is just kind of my like recap of that information, and just talk to you a little bit about it in our own language, because I know it's always better coming straight from me. So today, guys, we are going to be focusing in on our introduction and our conclusion. I know a lot of you have been kind of anticipating this moment. It feels really weird, I know, sometimes to jump right into those body paragraphs, but knowing so much that that is like the meat of what you're trying to get across to your reader, that is just where we have to drill right at the beginning and make sure we get it in there. I personally think that writing an introduction and conclusion is way easier after you've put the body paragraphs together, because you have a sense of the information you've already included, and you know kind of what you can associate different ideas with. So as we work through this today, you'll notice that I know that in the videos they gave a couple of examples that definitely could apply to some of your boxes and bullets that you guys created out there. So at any rate, let's go ahead with writing introduction conclusion. This will just be a really quick overview of the notes that I created after watching the videos and making sure that I was adding anything in that I thought you needed or that I thought would help you, and all of that. Okay, your job today, guys, is going to end up being going into these notes and making sure that you are doing this to your own writing. You're going to have to make sure that your introductions and your conclusions have your three major parts that each of those need when you go back in for your revising into that final essay on GMOs that you have created in Google Docs. All right, so like I said, there are three main parts to each. You've got your introduction over here on the left, and you'll notice I made it in an upside down pyramid. Then you've got your conclusion on the right with your right side up pyramid. The reason that I made those shapes, guys, is because when you start out an introduction, you start very broad by hooking them in with a general related topic to whatever your main topic is. And as you work through the sentences of that introduction, your topic will get more and more narrow to where that very last sentence is your thesis, which is talking specifically about the information you will give in this paper. Not all of the information out there on GMOs, but the ones that you gathered as the expert writing this paper. Then you look over here for conclusion, and you notice that it goes narrow first. That's because we always start with restating our thesis, and then we go out to that broad final statement. So I just wanted to call your attention to the shape of those. I also went ahead and used our same color coding that we use when we color code our drafts to make sure we've got all of our pieces and parts. So hopefully this is making connections there with the things we've done in the past. You guys can relate that to our work. So this page will be where I put those video links that you've already accessed. I just had to kind of have a poser page there. So all right, guys, we're going to talk about the introduction really quick. Remember, that hook is to get them super interested and engaged. I gave you three different options to use as a hook that were some ideas that we might be able to use when we want to create a good hook. One might be an anecdote. That, remember, we talked about an anecdote being a short story that shows exactly what you're trying to show. We saw an anecdote in one of our examples in class when they talked about the day that Malala got shot on her bus on the way home. So something like that, and I just gave a couple of things like showing the setting, bit by bit action, simple powerful details, physical emotional descriptions, things like that will help to hook your reader in. You might also do a statistic, so like a shocking number or a fact. I know that the video gave a really good example of this one, because you want your reader to be like, whoa, you've got to be kidding me. I have to read more of this. You're trying to get them in there. Or you can do a thoughtful question. I know that I totally went crazy about questions the other day, but honestly, the only time I can't I don't like questions is really in the conclusion, that final statement. I don't like leaving a question there because I think it's way too much like an argument paper. But if you do a thoughtful question, meaning that it's a question that needs more than yes or no, and making sure that you're avoiding that opinion side of things, I think you could get away with doing a question. I've seen it done a number of times very well. Like I said, there's just those 2 tips there that I want to make sure that you remember. After your hook, you're going to move into this transition. A lot of times I refer to this as background information. In the lit essay, that was big. This was like where you summarized. Here in an informational piece, there's a couple different things that you can do. You're basically just trying to link your hook to your thesis somehow. You got to have a little word bridge there to get from place to place. So a couple ways you can do that. You can go in and, I'm going to say, offer context. So I want you to think like context clues. What do we know about that? That means that we're talking about what surrounds the idea. Okay. So what is the context for the teaching that you're going to do? We're talking about GMOs. So give a little bit of information about GMOs. Maybe it's background. Maybe it's history. Maybe it's the fact that a lot of people disagree about them. I don't know. Just give us a tidbit or a fact about your topic that's going to lead into the rest of it. You could also do the background information, like I said, or you could really talk about why your topic matters. GMOs could be one of those things that does really matter because it is something that a lot of people have a lot of questions about, a lot of unknowns. So maybe that is a case you're willing to make there in your transition. Then the last thing, guys, thesis. You guys have been having a thesis statement put in front of you for years now. I know that for a fact. It's your topic with your 3 main reasons, or if you had a 2-reason paragraph, it would be your 2 main reasons. But you got to lay out the path for the rest of your paper. If you're going to talk about whatever about GMOs, and you're going to give these 3 examples, if I say, or these 2 examples, if I say these are the pros and these are the cons, you've got to say that in your thesis statement right before you go out the bottom of this pyramid here, this upside down pyramid. That thesis is your last thing, and it is the most specific because it's talking exactly about your paper individually. Okay. From there, we go down to conclusion, and conclusion, basically, I really like that visual from those first couple of pages. This here, I love this visual because it really truly is, when you build a good introduction, being able to just flip that over and turn that into a conclusion should be one of the easiest things for you, because really all you're doing is you're taking a sentence you already wrote in your introduction and you're just playing with it a little bit. You're going to reword that thesis that you put at the end of your intro, and you're going to put that at the front of your conclusion. I want you to reword it a little for variety, because if you're just putting it there verbatim, word for word, that is going to sound super boring and nobody wants to read that. So, you might be flipping the ending of how you said your thesis around to the front of the sentence. I know I've done that before. Other things you can do is look for synonyms and similar phrases to things that you said, just ways to restate it in a different way. You're going to move then to your link or your bridge. Again, this is, like I said, bridge right there, a little word bridge going on over to your final statement. You did your job. You listed your thesis there at the beginning. Now we need to move on to our final BAM statement at the end, okay? So if you look there with your link or bridge, it says connect your essay to the big idea before your finale. So we're working up to that finale. I gave you just a couple of ideas here. I know that in the video they gave you a couple of ideas how to do it too. I was kind of really thinking this one through because I think this part is the hardest for a lot of kids. So I just thought of a couple of ideas. Sometimes you might just want to take the main points, so like each of the main points of your paragraphs, and just restating them one more time to kind of be like in your face, like, yes, this is my main point. I'm drilling them home, like this is it. You could also comment on the list that you created inside of your thesis. You could like talk about, what a wide variety it is, or how it is such a heated debate or something like that. The third one there says you can tie it back to your transition. So whatever you used in that intro for your word bridge, Go on up there, take a look at that, and use some of those ideas and trickle those down into your conclusion. What a great way to tie it all up there and, make it come full circle. Then the last one there, guys, says you can discuss the importance of the topic too. You might, like I said in the intro part, you might want to make the case that this is something that people should look further into, or maybe that it is a topic that can, that maybe is I can't think of the word I'm looking for now, is basically looking to make sure that that it's important to continue to just know about this and know that it is a heated topic for debate and that people question it all the time. Final statement. This, guys, is up to you. I don't want it to be a question. Questions are way too argumentative and I don't want to get into it. This has to draw your paper to a close. Make it feel like, remember I told you guys, you're putting on your little tie and you're like, you're telling everybody what you have learned about this. You are a professional. You are an expert. So bring it to a close in a way that makes you want to bow afterwards. Make yourself sound like you're proud and you are knowledgeable and you have, studied this topic. So a couple ways to do that. You might make an impactful observation of some sort. This is tricky. I know these final statements can be tricky because you don't want to get into the opinion piece of it at all, but if it's an observation of that this is a topic that will continue to spark the minds of scientists around the world. Nobody's lying about that, right? And that's not showing one way or another. It just says people will continue to study it. You could make a call to action. Again, avoid the strong opinion, invite people to study more about this, learn more about this fascinating area of science or something. You could also include a powerful quotation if you've found something that will make an impact on your reader. And then the last one is you could suggest future implications using like maybe or might. So like we might see continued debate, I said continue twice there, but you get my point. So we got our little upside down or our regular pyramid here at the end. Guys, that's basically it. I want you to use these. I went over that super fast because I want you to use these notes as ideas for you. Don't let this process overwhelm you. I tell you guys that all the time. Break it into little chunks. You've got this. You've got three steps for each of these paragraphs. You got to give me your hook, your transition, and your thesis over here for your intro. You got to give me your thesis, your link, and your final statement on your conclusion. Break it into those 6 parts, guys. Go step by step through these notes and try to get each of those parts done. Do the very, very best you can. Nothing to submit today. I just want to see your hard work in your writing when I get back to you guys, okay? All right, guys, go get it and work hard. Love you. Bye.